happy What Should I Do Wednesday. I hope you guys are having a fantastic, wonderful, perfect Wednesday. I know I am, aside from the fact that I got very little sleep. I know, put on your big surprise face. Because I was just too freaking hot. Like, I could not get comfortable last night. Like, I was tossing and turning and turning and tossing. And I sleep with a fan on, like one of those big wind tunnel fans, like right in my face on high. I have to, otherwise there's just no hope. I need it for the noise, and I need it for the air, because I'm ridiculously hot-natured. And typically, it works out well. Last night, not so much. I don't know why I was so damn hot, but I was just sweating bullets. It was ridiculous. And after tossing and turning and turning and tossing in here for like 20 minutes, I was like, you know what, screw this crap. I am going to the couch, which I have a great couch, by the way. It's one of those that like the back cushions come off, and it's like a bed. So I sprawled out on that and took like my 5 pillows and my brown bear that I sleep with. Yes, I am a grown-ass woman who sleeps with a stuffed animal. No shame. I don't care. I've had him since I was 2. He doesn't have a name. He's just a bear. He's got like one eye, no stuffing. I mean, if you want to see, he's right here. Like, no lie. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, look at him. He's seen better days, right? We're just going to let him sit here. He has seen better days. Like I said, I've had him since I was 2, so that's 26 years. He's got one eye. I've cut his hair. Like, the only part of him that really looks like he used to is, like, his tail. Because it's, like, the one part that I haven't rubbed on or touched. Like, I can't take him anywhere anymore. Like, I used to travel with him everywhere, and I can't take him anymore because he's, like, full of holes. And he has no stuffing, like the whole bottom of it. My mom has sewn him so many times, it's ridiculous. Like, I remember I was going to nationals for gymnastics, and I had to take him with me. And my mother, like, frantically sewed his butt shut, like, right here, that's now come unstitched, so that he could go on the airplane, because he could not go through security with holes in him, because, you know, you could, like, shove crap. Ridiculous. Like, he's ridiculous, but I love him. Don't judge me. Even though I hear my admins laughing at me right now. He's cute. But anyway, so I took him and I laid on the couch, and finally, with the ceiling fan and the air conditioning and like the circulation of the room, finally got some sleep. Like, at least probably a good couple hours. And then I woke up today in desperate need of coffee. Starbucks once again saved my life. And now I'm here doing What Should I Do Wednesday, where I answer all of your general paranormal related questions that you guys asked me all up on the Facebook page. And we have a short list, but it's the second part of it's kind of a focused topic, because it's one that comes across the page a lot, and I just wanted to kind of give it some focus. But we're going to get started, because I know that once I get started on that second topic, it's going to go a little long. So here we go. Our first question is actually, what is the age of the youngest recorded psychic medium? I did my research, and nothing specific came up. One name came up, a Michael Gorley. I believe he started doing professional, like, sit-down, massive readings when he was like 16 or 17 years old, which is pretty young, considering most mediums are well into adulthood, and he was a teenager. But that, it wasn't like the youngest recorded psychic medium is 5. However, there was a show on TV a few years back, called Psychic Kids, Children of the Paranormal, that I was addicted to. I watched all 3 seasons of it. I thought it was great. Some of those situations, those kids were very young. We're talking 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They were young. Do I believe that they can possess a gift that young? Absolutely, because I believe you're born with it. And when you hone it, it can come at any age. It's hard, though, when you have a parental influence involved in that. I think that that's my biggest concern with children. Do I believe that children can possess psychic abilities? Absolutely. Do I believe that there is a psychic medium out there who is, 6 and we just don't know about him or her yet? Absolutely. Do I also believe that parents want fame? Of course. If they can turn their kids into cash cows, they'll do it like that. And if they see an opportunity to do so, they will. And sometimes I would watch that show and think, you know, yeah, I think they have a gift, but I think they're being pushed. And when you're being shoved into something to please people, kids, especially kids are people pleasers. They want to make their parents and their adult, you know, mentors happy. They want to do what's going to make them happy, regardless of whether they actually feel something or not. So it did not give me a definitive answer, but I did find that guy Michael, who was like 17 when he started doing like legit psychic readings, and he has like a legit website you can go to and book him for things. He's older now, but when he started, he was like 16 or 17. Which I think is a fair age. I think that they have, you know, you're a little bit more apt to being able to really decipher what you're feeling. Where kids, I think, especially young children, while I believe they can be very gifted, I think that their gifts are very jumbled and it's not ironed out and it's not been honed into a healthy gift, which I think is so important for all gifts. I think that whether you're an empath, a medium, you have any sort of a sensitive gift, I think that you need to hone it and mature it before you share it with others. Because you may not know what you're thinking or feeling. And so, being teamed up with the right people and being teamed up with the right group of other gifted individuals can really help you kind of mature your gift and make it something really, really awesome. Because I think that if you open yourself up to it and you mature it the correct way, you are opening the door to having something very beautiful. So we're gonna say 17. It could be younger. I believe that they are younger, but it kind of gets into uncharted territory when it gets younger. You really have a harder time deciphering what is real and what isn't. Now, our next and last topic of the day is something that we see a lot of on the page, and I kind of took this one upon myself to talk about because it's a really good topic, or topics, I guess. It's a couple of really good topics, and it's something that I haven't discussed a lot. One of them I don't think I've ever discussed or mentioned. But we're going to talk about urban legends and superstition. Kind of the difference between the two and my thoughts on them. Starting with urban legends. Urban legends are usually tales or stories of like your local town or your local, your local state asylum down the street has, that has the urban legend of old Mr. whoever. He does this on this day, and it's just kind of meant to give your town and your community history. I watched one yesterday, that typically urban legends are not always true. Typically they're legends. They're just fun, things to scare people on Halloween. However, an urban legend it's been classified as an urban legend, but a legit urban legend, is the story of Crybaby Bridge in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I know a lot of people know of Crybaby Bridge, especially if you're really involved in the paranormal. For those of you who don't, Crybaby Bridge is a bridge, like I said, in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, that supposedly a woman, an Amish woman, was coming home in a storm and trying to come home to bring food to her family, her husband and her 4-month-old baby boy. And being Amish, you walk everywhere, you're in a buggy. Women typically didn't drive the buggies without permission from her husband, and she did not drive the buggy that day, and it started to rain and it was cold. And so she was trying to get home to her family, and she decided, an Englishman drove by in a van, and he offered her a ride back to her home. And she took it because of the weather, which is not allowed in the Amish community. An Amish woman is not meant to be seen with another man, period, other than her husband, without the presence of her husband. And so another member of the community seen her get out of this van in her driveway, and they automatically assumed that she was having an affair on her husband, and they told the church, and the church shunned her. And when you're shunned in the Amish community, you can no longer have contact with anyone in the Amish community, and that included her 4-month-old baby boy. And she was completely distraught from that, and so she took her son, she snuck into her home, she took her little boy, and she ran away. And she made it to this bridge in the community, and she stood up on the bridge and she jumped into the creek below and killed her and her son. For a while there, they thought that she had simply taken her son and went to go live in like in the English community. But then they found her bonnet, her headpiece, and her little boy's blanket washed up on shore, and they knew then that the little boy the baby and the mother had died. They had jumped into the creek. Now, legend goes that if you go on this bridge and you take your car keys and you put them on the roof, the hood of your car, or the trunk or anything on your car, outside your car, and you just walk around your car on the bridge, you park on the bridge and do this, if the keys jingle or move in any way, then you have awoken, essentially, the baby's spirit. Which we all know that child spirits are kind of a hit and miss thing. They're typically something darker. But if the keys jingle and you've awoken, and you'll begin to hear a baby cry, an infant cry, or a mother's cry, or a mother's scream. And then you're kind of cursed. They say that you can be cursed, your soul's kind of up for grabs. I watched it yesterday. I'd heard the story before many times about Crybaby Bridge. I've read about it, but I actually watched an Amish haunting on like Destination America yesterday, and they were actually talking about a group of kids on their little like, you're a teenager, you can go do like the English lifestyle thing. I think it's like Rumspringa. I don't know a lot, but it's like Rumspringa or whatever it is. And they got to go and like be English for however many days or whatever, a week. Or it's kind of like their spring break, and they get a chance to go and basically go drink and party and get a taste of the English lifestyle without it affecting their ability to get in the church. And then after it's over, you can either choose to leave the Amish or you can choose to join the church. And anyway, they did it, and the keys jingled, and they all took off running through the woods, and it was 3 guys and 2 girls, and the girls were actually never heard from again. To this day, they don't know what happened to them. They don't know if, they were taken by some sort of a spirit, if they were killed. They have no idea. They literally never heard from them again. But they were hearing cries and screams and all of the above. It was just cray cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So urban legends are typically not true. They typically have no clout to them, but there are some that obviously do. And I do believe in the story of Crybaby Bridge. It's not something I'm messing with. Have a nice day. I'll go to the bridge. I'll go and walk across it, but I'm not summoning anything. Like, you outside your mind. 9 chances are that is evil, and you're just messing with the devil, and I don't do demons. I don't do evil, so no thanks. I will drive over it. I'm sure 1,000 people drive over it a day. I ain't stopping on it. I ain't putting my keys on any part of my car except in the ignition, and that is it. Now, when you're talking about superstition, it usually means like an act or a ritual that you do to prevent bad luck or to prevent bad, a curse or whatever. I grew up in a very superstitious family. I myself am really not. I like the paranormal. I could really care less about superstition. I guess liking the paranormal, you kind of test fate anyway. But my great-grandparents were very superstitious. And they had some ridiculous superstitions. Like, my great-grandmother, this story makes me giggle. My great-grandmother believed that you always entered and exited through the same door. So, like, if you went out the back door when you left the house, then you had to come in the back door when you came back in the house. Otherwise, it was bad luck. There was a day where, and I was not born yet, but my mother tells me this story all the time, and it just makes me giggle. My great-grandmother, left her house in her front door, and her door locked without the key. And she left her house keys in the house, so she locked herself out. So to get back in the house, she opened a window on the front porch, crawled through the front window, unlocked her front door, crawled back out through the window, left the house, came back home, and then went back in through the front door. I cannot make this up. Because she believed that if she were to have just stayed in the house by entering through the window, then it would have been bad luck, because she didn't leave originally through the window. This was also the same woman who religiously put Vicks Vapor Rub, like, on her nose. Now, if anybody has used Vicks Vapor Rub in their lifetime, they know that crap don't play, right? Like, when you're sick and you're congested and you put it on your chest to, like, you smell the... That enough for me is like, I'm awake. Like, it's there, it's whatever. This woman put it right here on her nose. Every day. Like, more than once a day. But I will tell you, because she believed it would keep you from getting, like, the plague or whatever. Like, it was ridiculous. But that woman never had a cold. She never had a sinus infection. So there may have been something to that one. She did not do black cats. She did not do ladders. She did not do any of that. It was ridiculous. Like, she was so superstitious. My mom, my family is not so much. My aunt is very superstitious and very OCD. I have OCD tendencies. I was really bad when I was little because I had very high anxiety. I was a socially awkward kid. I was very shy, believe it or not. I didn't like a lot of people around, and I was just very anxious. And so I would have rituals or tics to get me through my day because it made me feel better. When I was little, I would do this a lot. You would see me just especially at school, like I did it at school a lot, like during assemblies or when there was a lot of people or there was a lot of crowds, or I was just the first day of school was always horrific for me, because I was in a new environment, typically new teachers, new friends, new whatever. Most of the time, I mean, I went to school with the same people, but I had new teachers, new schedule, new environment. And so I would do this a lot. I would rub my hands, and there would be times where my hands would be raw. Because I would do that a lot. And then, you know, I did the light switch thing for a while. I had to sleep, I had to sleep with night lights on. I still do. Now my night light has become the TV, but I still have to sleep with some sort of a light on. I'm terrified of the pitch black darkness if I'm alone. If I'm with people, I'm fine. If I'm alone, I hate it. It drives me nuts. I hate silence. And so I think that it's, you develop not necessarily superstitious tendencies, but I think you develop rituals to get you through uncomfortable situations in your life. And I think with superstition, that is just a person's way of dealing with anxiety. They're anxious about what would happen if. And so some people call it superstition, some people call it OCD. I didn't ever think that, like, I would die if I didn't, rub my hands together, or if I didn't, I used to do this a lot when I would be really nervous. I would bite my nails. My nails would be nubs because I would bite them to nothing. But I didn't think that if I didn't do this for a certain amount of time, or a certain way, that I would die, or have bad luck, or, I have broken many mirrors in my life. I have walked under many ladders. I have pet many black cats. I am still here. I am still alive. I'm still kicking. Do I think there's any fluidity to, like, there's any legitimacy, I guess, to these superstitions? I don't know. Like, I don't think anything's impossible, but I don't think that if you walk under a ladder or you cross the path of Black Cat on Friday the 13th, you need to, like, get out your rabbit's foot and pray to whoever. I think it's just a subconscious way of people dealing with their own anxieties within their own head. And if at the end of the day it makes them function and gets them through life and gets them through their day-to-day, then bring it on. Like, do what you gotta do. Because if you let anxiety take over, knowing from personal experience. If you let it take you over, it will ruin you. So I think that if you have something that works for you and you know, and you get the label, oh, you're just uptight and superstitious and OCD. Well, then you're uptight, superstitious, and OCD because it's helping you function in today's society, and that's okay. Because today's society is chaotic enough, and if you need to rub a foot, you know, a rabbit's foot, and spin around in circles 3 times, reciting the ABCs forwards and backwards and counting to 100, and then you feel okay to go and tackle the day, then do it. Because then you're just helping yourself function. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, you know, like me, I sleep with a bear. I don't care. It's a security thing. It's safety. It's whatever. It keeps the monsters away. Okay. And anybody who has night terrors knows that sometimes it's nice to just have something to hold on to because it can get a little cray-cray at night after the lights go out. So that is all I have for What Should I Do Wednesday. I know it was really short and kind of focused, but I like to do that from time to time and just kind of discuss things that come across the page and take it on a different turn once in a while because it just gives it a little bit more flair. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday. I am off to go buy tickets to the water park that I'm going to in a couple of weeks. Yay! I'm so excited. And get some lunch and just relax the rest of the day. But I will be back on Friday for GA Flashback Friday, where I recap one of our past favorite episodes of Ghost Adventures. Until then, stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, enjoy the summer, and have a grand old day. I will see you Friday. Much love and happiness.